what we're seeing here are the traditional wedding cakes. There are 7 couples getting married in this hotel later on, and these are the wedding cakes. They look like they're made from plants, but it's actually very carefully constructed sugar cane. So this is all icing. Okay, and what you have to do is you have to eat it without any knives and forks. So it's just your hands behind your back is the traditional method, and just face in, basically, for the bride. And the groom just watches while they do that.
These, we just stumbled upon these. These happen to be famous Thai fertility biscuits. It's a sacred superstition. If you eat 2 of these, you have a boy, and if you eat 4, you have a girl, which explains the number of slightly fat women that we've bumped into so far. If you can...
So, the rabbit. By royal decree, they had to choose a symbol for the city, and they chose the rabbit because it symbolises so much of what Bangkok has to offer. You'll notice it's well-dressed, highly fashionable. There's a sense of monetary value about the gold and the gilding. And what you'll find is that they dress this appropriately depending on the time of the year. So we're obviously in November, so it's a red season. So we'll see around the emporium that we're going into a lot of people wearing red for the value. And the music, I'm not too sure about, because I wouldn't want to tell you lies now, would I? This is actually a vending machine for the sex trade in Bangkok. You can actually get the person of your choice here. So what you do is, you see here, this will take your photo, it uploads to the website, and then you can key in what sort of person you want. Now what's really interesting about this is as well that the whole Bangkok industry is based around stopping global warming. So what we've got here are the reasons that we should stop global warming. It gets people wearing lighter clothes, which helps the local Bangkok economy, which again feeds into the sex trade. So we're seeing a very, very circular thing here of how money is created and kept within the economy. But the technology around just uploading a photo to an ATM is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Our characters from Bangkok's favourite cartoon. It's the Thai version of SpongeBob SquarePants. So this is actually SpongeBob. Patrick is this one, who's his gay friend, slightly effeminate, very into his fashion and his films. Works at the home of this guy, the cafe of this guy, and this guy, obviously. You know, so you can buy these for 140 baht. And bring them home and have hours of fun and amusement with your family, retelling the stories of the Thai SpongeBob SquarePants. Sally the squirrel, not as good looking over here. Really, really not as good looking. But what's really interesting about this sort of thing and the whole thing is that although we've learned about spirits and ghosts, you will notice that goats have not featured at all, because goats have been illegal in Thailand since the 15th century. From a royal decree, banned all goats after goats got into the vegetable patch before a big important feast where the king had planned to bring his enemies and the outlying warlords of the region into Bangkok to do a peace treaty. Goats got in, ruined the entire feast, war raged for another 100 years. So you will not find any goats in Bangkok whatsoever, illegal. Don't bring them in, you'll be in trouble.
Dar, I believe this is an ancient Thai tradition.
This is an ancient Thai tradition called Lucky Dip, right? So you reach into the bag. I'm going to reach in for you because we've got the camera on.
And what is the significance of this in Thailand?
And these are unicorn eggs. No, they're not. These are little handmade toys that I found inside that were 10 baht. And that's one for you. I'm going to give it to Malini. Malini, now, your turn.
But I believe you're just about to tell me about the tradition this comes from.
Oh, the tradition this comes from. Well, do you remember I was telling you earlier about the emperor who banned goats, so goats are now illegal in Bangkok?
Correct.
Well, this emperor, when he was trying to get the warlords in to force a treaty to expand into his territories, was bored, waiting for all the warlords to turn up and the vegetables to grow in the vegetable garden that the goat was eating. So got one of his handmaids to teach him how to make toys. So that is actually a representation of that emperor who did that. And as you can see, it's quite a small city. There's not that much out there really. So I'm not surprised they're setting off fireworks to amuse themselves. Oh look, more. See, fireworks are here to celebrate the Smirnoff Exchange people being in Bangkok. Arranged by Bo herself. She apparently picked them all out shopping during the week and has friends setting them off around the place. Applied for a license weeks ago when she found out we were on the way. Bo had all of her friends.
You're welcome.
They all set them off around the city. Amazing. So we're at the water taxi, a few hours of schedule, because the Royal Palace that we went to, where there's, as you'll see there, it's a lure. It's closed because Bo has arranged for the royal family to meet us today, and they were practicing the ancient Thai tradition of getting ready to meet the Westerners and Easterners and Southerners and Northerners and foreigners. So we're going to go out onto the boat and hopefully see some dolphins, which are really, really popular in this river. Dolphins, definitely. One of the interesting things about that trip were the dolphins. They're the royal dolphins. They're actually hand-reared by the King and Queen and then released into the river. And they swim back and forth from the Royal Palace every day, kind of like homing pigeons in the UK. Really, really interesting. So we're waiting for the King and Queen of Thailand to come out and say hello to us. They've heard we were over. They're obviously big Smirnoff fans. Apparently 24 crates are delivered to the palace every week for whatever reason, cooking or whatever they do. And yeah, we're just waiting for them to come out. It's quite exciting. And if you come to Bangkok with Smirnoff, they can do that for you too. Just ring Amy in the New York office. She rings the palace and it's all arranged. It's totally sorted. Welcome to the royal temples. This is a very important part of Bangkok culture and heritage. It's where the royal family play bingo. Every weekend you're invited around. Just ring Malini, she can sort it out for you if you're going to Bangkok. But Prince is actually in there now working on his new record. Things about the royal family is that they love collecting stuff. So outside the palace you'll see these women who are collecting postcards, fans and bags from all the tourists for the Prince, because he loves that shit. It's just like, so they will pay you for any postcards or paintings that you can supply. And the more exotic the postcard, the better. Now, or teaspoon. So check these guys out. Teaspoonfunblower.com. Center of the web in Thailand. Royal family is actually outside eating now. True story.
So you go to Bangkok, or do you want my real name?
Your real name.
Oh, okay.
Quiet. This is a very sacred relic in this place. The head of Bela Lugosi as Frankenstein is... No, that's it. No, never mind. We're not going to do this. I can't lie. You know the story of this restaurant? Of course, no, I'm joking.
You're such a weirdo! No!
Alright, who's the next?
That's nice.